Hey everybody, it's Dan at Zombie Nation. How are you guys doing today? Today is another day off, and I was busy doing, absolutely nothing, I believe. So I thought I'd come out here and take a break from all the nothing. Anyway, treated myself today. I do have my new Falcon that I'm trying out for the first time. Like the little designs on the bowl. And in it is my all-time favorite, some Frog Morton Cellar. Doesn't get any better than that. Anyhow, the Falcon. If you guys don't know, this thing was designed, I think in the 30s, quite a while ago, by an engineer who wanted a cooler smoke. So there's a couple of things he did. If you notice here, the air chamber, where the smoke comes down, it's isolated from the other sides. That allows air to go all the way around it and help cool it. It's also made out of a heavier aluminum. And aluminum's a heat sink, so it's going to draw some of the heat out of there. So it's going to be a cooler smoke by the time it gets down to the end here. The smoke chamber also is a little bit different. I'm not going to show it to you now because, well, I'm smoking it. But it's designed so that it collects all the moisture, and that in itself, along with the aluminum in there, cools the smoke coming down. With all those things together, by the time it comes from that bowl into your mouth, it's supposed to be a cooler smoke. So anyway, I've been hard at work. I do 4 days a week. But I thought I'd kind of start an intro to who I am. A friend of mine told me I should start telling some of my stories from when I was in the military. So I thought I'd be trying to put some of those together. This is kind of an introduction to the stories. I was in the military, Air Force, for 22 years. I was a senior NCO in the intel career field. So I had a lot of pretty cool experiences. Been to Iraq. Been to every state in the United States at least once. Been to several different countries. I think some of the stories I'm going to start with is there was a 5-year period when it was called red teaming or OP4. It is basically you're simulating the bad guy so that the good guys, which is the Americans, can learn how to counteract and defeat the bad guy, which is you. So you spend a lot of time studying their tactics, how they do things, stuff like that. And since I started working for that particular unit in 2001, well, guess what we simulated? If you all remember what happened September 11th, 2001, you probably know what I was pretending to be. So, in that unit, we did things called multidiscipline vulnerability assessments. What that meant, the discipline meaning, there's some intel people, intel discipline, computer discipline, the special investigation discipline folks, all together, multidiscipline assessment of vulnerabilities for a base, a unit, special operations area, stuff like that. So what we would do for a 2-week period of time is go into those areas without anyone knowing we were there, except the highest commander in the place. He was the only one that knew we were there. And we would attempt to infiltrate the units, infiltrate their computer systems, and basically cause havoc, and they thought we were the real deal. it got pretty exciting sometimes. And at one point, about 3 years into my little stay there, I became the non-commissioned officer in charge of training, which meant that for all of our new people and all of the sister units we had, couple throughout the United States, I was in charge of training them to teach them how to be a bad guy. Pretty big honor, I thought. I took it seriously, but we had a good time too. And I'll tell you some of those stories coming up soon. Also some stories from Iraq, basic training, stuff like that. But anyway, on this Falcon, it is a cool smoke. Now, it's 15 degrees out here. You can't tell. That is not cigars. That is not pipe smoke. That is my breath. But anyway, that probably helps cool it a little bit. But I've smoked my briars and stuff out here too when it's cold, and this is definitely a lot cooler smoke. I'm probably a little bit influenced by the tobacco I'm smoking, because it's my favorite. Right when they were going out of business, I bought several tins. Should have bought several hundred tins. Love this stuff. But anyway, pipe is really good. I really like it. I would recommend it to all of you. The tobacco, Frogmorton Cellar, man, it goes without saying. Good shit. So, without further ado, I will sign off. And I hope you all come back and see me.